Welcome to session 3 of the Extra Summer Information Program presentation. We're talking about reading tips and how you could use the books gained from the summer reading program. The next thing, this came right from the reading recovery teachers. They thought how it's really important that you make a big deal about the books that your child brings home. So if it's a cool library book or if it's a book that is part of their book bag that they're bringing home, make a big deal and ask them, is that what you're reading? Is that your level right now? And think how help them think about how cool those books could possibly be. Be excited about the new books that your child brings home, and then once you're seeing what they like and maybe seeing what kind of level that they're having success at, keep keep going. And one way to do that is getting to the library. Ortonville has a pretty awesome children's section in their library. Of course, bookstores are great too. Just a cartoon I found that reminds me a little bit of at my own house. It says, let's get a few things straight. No speed reading, no silly voices, no skipping pages. The silly voices part I disagree with. That's one of the best parts. But as far as no speed reading and no skipping pages, my daughter, she'll catch me every time if I try to skip if I'm a little bit tired. And of course, speed reading is no good. You want them to be able to follow along. Okay, so as a person who's kind of been uh, a point person for questions from parents and questions that teachers have asked me based on parents' questions, what about students that were not eligible? So a lot of times I'll get a phone call from a mom who has one student that was eligible to come to the extra summer program and one that wasn't. So what about that? Right now, unfortunately, we don't really have anything for students who are not deemed eligible. In other words, the students who are either in the pack of the learning race or at the head of the pack, we don't really have anything our district is offering as of yet. In the future, though, we are looking into and are kind of excited about creating some kind of programming for those students that are not eligible for the grant funded things. But again, unfortunately, since these things are 100% grant funded, we would have to figure out a way to fund those. So it would be a tuition based program. So just what it says now is the district is looking into creating a tuition based program to run alongside the extra summer program. And it would not start until next year. But if you'd like that to be considered, you could give me an email or a phone call, and I'd certainly at least like to know that there are people out there. We'd have to make classes of probably 12 to 15 to make sure it could run itself funding wise. But I'm kind of excited about continuing to watch our summer program expand, and maybe even the extra after school program. The other thing is that there are some students from Harvey Swanson and Oakwood that took part in the extra after school program that were no longer eligible to get these supplemental services from the summer program. And again, if you weren't deemed eligible by your child's grade level teacher, then this program, there's no way in until you're invited and the teacher says you're eligible. If you were at the live presentation, you got one of these to take home. If you're not, perhaps you could freeze this screen right now and maybe jot down some of these numbers. And I'm sure we'll send something like this home too as part of a packet on the first day of summer school. But these are just a few things that I could think of that might be nice for you to have at your fingertips as far as contact information. We have the Oakwood Elementary front desk, which will be staffed as long as there are students in the building during summer program dates. And in parentheses there it says, please avoid last minute changes to your child's normal transportation routine. The ends of the days can be pretty hectic, and if we don't know if there's a change until 11:45, there's not necessarily any guarantee that we can get that information to your child in time for the change to be known to the child. So just keep that in mind. My name's on there along with my contact information, both my phone number and email. I work in this office until June 29th at Central Office, and then I'll be at Oakwood at their front desk and probably roving around as well, depending on what the staffing looks like there in the office. But I'm happy to answer any questions that you have or talk to you about any kinds of improvements that we could possibly make. Betty Martin is our transportation director. You can call her with any questions you have regarding transportation. Suzanne Evenson is our food services director. And of course, to view a screencast, you can go where you are already. And one more thing too that your child's teachers will give you on the first day or two of extra programming. It'll have their contact information in it. Um, like I mentioned, the assignments, the teaching assignments, are to be determined as of now. We don't have, it's not a real clean assortment of teachers that we could put right with the grade level they normally teach during the school year. So we're going to give them some input on what they'd like to teach if they can't have their grade level that they normally teach during the school year. But once we know, and once your child comes on the first day of extra, you'll get some things that how to get a hold of your child's teacher, and if you want to, again, if you want to be involved in the program. So we're always trying to make our supplemental programs better. Call or email me with any suggestions that you might have. And then once the program starts, you can inquire with your child's teacher on or near the first day of the program if you would like to come in to help in the classroom or observe the program. Parent involvement is a big part of all these grant-funded projects. And this really was more for the live audience, but if you have any questions, you've got my contact information, and I'm happy to get back with you as soon as I possibly can. Thanks for taking the time to click on the webcasts. Sorry I'm not a professional announcer or DJ or anything like that, but hopefully you at least got the information that you need to make these supplemental services something that you can support at home as well. And stay tuned to your child's backpack or the handouts that they bring home. It'll have information on it with any other sorts of information offerings that we might be presenting you with near the end of the summer program, if we do that at all. So thanks again.